Handicapper Steve here, handicapping the racing from Aqueduct Racetrack here on Sunday. It is the 5th of May 2024. Going to look at the stakes races on the program from Aqueduct, but before I get on to that, remember to please follow me on Twitter at Horse Racing Kit 5 for more selections for race courses around the world, and I mean it around the world. Let's look at the stakes action from Aqueduct races. As my computer freezes out. Well, the races 3 and 7 from Aqueduct. We're going to get some rain here in New York on Sunday, so I'm confident with early in the program that they'll be able to run this third race but on the grass, but the 7th race, which is a dirt race, will be very sloppy. So, and then all the other turf races will be off turf. But for Sunday, I know the Bugay didn't fill, so they're going to run it next week, but usually the card right after the Kentucky Derby here in New York is usually a very strong card, especially last year. They had quite a few nice turf races at Belmont that, if I'm not mistaken, prerequisite might have broke or made the day after the Derby at Belmont and went on to win all the stakes races in the mid-season. But this year the card from Aqueduct isn't as strong as it was last year, and the field size is a little bit crazy, but hopefully it picks up, and it did pick up for if you looked at the entries for Friday, good card Friday from Aqueduct with the first 2-year-old race of the year also. But we'll get to that when we get to that. We'll be looking at the races 3 and 7. Let's get to the third, to the outer turf course. It's the license fee stakes. It's going for a purse of $150,000. Race for fillies and mares, 3-year-olds and upwards. 7 horses are entered, 6 and 7 are MTOs. 5 will head 1,200 meters or 6 furlongs in the outer turf course. Rails out at a dozen feet. I'm going to take the 4 horse. Don't look back at all. I'm going to go 4-2-5-1 in the superfecta. 4-2-5-1 super. Top selection of 4 horse. Don't look back at all. This 4-year-old filly by Peace and Justice. Christophe Clement trains. Ira Ortiz Jr. gets the mount. Horse's most recent appearance came 31st of March at Gulfstream. 5 furlongs and off 62 claimer, and the horse finished second by a half a length that day. And if he didn't drift, he probably would have won. He stalked, he had the lead, he drifted out, which cost him. A little bit green that day, first off the bench, maybe need the race. Back to New York, where he's not as green, likes this turf course, he could win. He's also handled courses with slight gives in the ground. 2 back, he ran in the Glen Cove here locally, 6 furlongs, 19th of October, and he finished second by 2 1/4 lengths. He had a very wide trip that day, which probably cost him the victory. He stalked, he had the lead in the lane, he got caught at the wire. What can you do? He ran his heart out that day, and then early September, going 6 on a faster side of good turf course in the lounge race for $100,000, winning by 3 3/4 lengths that day on the front end all throughout. He really put on a show. It wasn't the fastest 6 furlongs. They weren't 1:10 and 1, but still a very good run. And then his final start of the Spa over the summer, 5.5 in a launch race, $115,000. He finished second by 3/4 in length that day, and he didn't get out of the gate so clearly, which cost him. But he closed off like anything late. Showed different dimension. He actually, his 2 races at Saratoga, he didn't break well, but he closed up like anything in that race in August, and his main victory as a 2-year-old in 2022. But coming back here, he likes his turf course. He could win. I think the 2 horse here, Gallon Rush for Flavien Prat and Christophe, could win also. Was winner of Saratoga on a good turf course in August quite nicely, winning by 2 1/4 lengths, going away clear. Prior to that, Belmont going 7 on the Widener in a lounge race. She won by 1 3/4 lengths that day. Had to be used a lot from a tracking trip, but she still won quite nicely. She ran on this turf course last April where she had a massive place. Coming here today, I'll give this horse a shot on the ticket, but to recap my selection for the third from Belmont, the Big 8, it's the license fee. Gonna take the 4 horse. Don't look back at all. Give kudos to the 2 horse, Gallon Rush. 4-2-5-1 super, 4-2 in the multi-race. Let's scroll over now to race number 7 from Aqueduct, which is the Gold Fever. It's going for a purse of $150,000. Race for 3-year-olds here. 8 horses are going 1,200 meters or 6 furlongs in the Gold Fever stakes. Gonna take the 4 horse Bilo as a top selection. 4-3-6-8 for me in the superfecta. 4-3-6-8 super. Top selection to 4 horse Bilo. This 3-year-old caught by Street Sense. Belmont trains. Junior Alvarado gets the mounts. The horse's most recent outing came 6th of April. Keeneland, 6 furlongs and optional 100 claimer, and she won by 2 lengths that day. First time Lasix that day. She really took off clear. She stalked all the way around the race course, and she got the job done. 1:10 and 2 for off the bench. I thought that was a decent time. Refreshing here. Not the world's toughest horses. Gonna have to overcome a wet track, which she did okay on debut on a wet track. Came back here in the Remsen, or he came back in the Remsen, didn't do a lot of running, but I think that was around 2 turns. Back to a 1-turn 6 furlongs wet track. I think he has enough forwardly pace to win here today. He ran the Swale 2 back at Gulfstream, 7 furlongs 3rd of February, where he finished 4th by 4 1/4 lengths that day, and he just kind of stalked. and then completely hit the wall. Maybe just asking a little bit too much there. And then the Remsen and Aqueduct in a very cloggy, muddy going. I'm on the 8th there. Finished the 8th by 10 1/4 and by 19.5 lengths by Dornock, who did nothing in the Derby. Sierra Leone ran a massive race in the Derby. If he would have won, he probably would have disqualified though. But this horse just kind of stalked him and completely hit the wall there. And then the Nashua finished 3rd by 6 1/4 lengths, where again he was flat. But his races sprinting weren't bad at all. He broke his main here in October quite easily. And then he had a massive 3rd place finish in the same race. Fierceness broke his maiden Travelers Weekend at Aqueduct. He finished 3rd behind him. Air Defense was the next start winner who won. Fierceness next start down the Champagne, didn't do a lot of running, but this horse was just wide and come on, plodded along. Not a bad race. Training well. Coming here, he could win. I think the 3-horse Doncho for Jaime Torres and Michelle Lovell can win also. You know, in the Lafayette last time out going 7, he just got outbeat by the other ones. He finished 4th by 5 1/4 lengths. His races in New Orleans before that wasn't bad at all. He won from a wide trip on debut, and his sophomore effort, he won even easily on the front end. Back here, training well, 5-2. I would use him in the late pick 4. But to recap my selection for the 7th now from Aqueduct, it's the Gold Fever. Going to take the 4-horse I'll give kudos to the 3-horse Doncho. 4-3-6-8 Super, 4-3 in the multi-race. So good luck to him. Please follow me on Twitter at Horse Racing Kid 5. Good luck, everyone.